Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Thunderbird Coaches Show. I'm your host, Spencer McLaughlin, and welcome, Thunderbird Nation, to our second women's basketball coaches show. I'm joined by head coach Tracy Mason. Denver Anderson is here as well for our student spotlight. Thank you all for being here this evening inside a wonderful Cafe Sabor, as always. Coach, Denver, you guys ready to get going?
Let's do it.
All right, let's talk about where you guys are at in the season right now. 7-3, couple games left. We'll talk about the upcoming opponents as well. But last couple of games, tough ones on the road against some really good opponents. How do you feel like your basketball team's playing right now?
Yeah, they were tough games, and I think we knew that when we scheduled them. I think we learned a lot. I think we had some really good quarters. I think we had, a few little stretches where we kind of let up on things and it kind of dug us in a hole, and I think the two teams that we played really capitalized on that. But I think for our team, I think we proved that we can play with them. And so I think for us, from a confidence standpoint, like, we feel really good about, we were able to go on the road. We were able to really give those two matchups a pretty tough game. And so I'm happy with where we're at. We obviously have things that we want to continue to work on, and I'm probably going to say that for the rest of the year. So, this is a great week. We're out of school. We just have time to practice and get in the gym and kind of focus on some things that we need to get better at.
That's where you always have to be as a coach, right? Is no matter whether you're having success, whether you're not having success, hitting a rough patch, who you're playing, who you're beating, it's always about getting better, right? Is there a part of that almost makes it harder to enjoy the wins sometimes, because you're just always in that mindset? We got to get better. This has got to get better. This has got to get better.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a non-D1 game a few weeks ago, and I think afterwards in the locker room, the girls all, you could just tell everyone was very just stoic, and I was stoic, and I think we knew that we didn't perform well, and the expectation was just higher. And I think I love that about our team. I think we're at a point right now where we can win, and we still might not be happy with how we performed. We're going to enjoy the win, obviously, because wins are wins, and those are great. But I think we have a team that understands what they're capable of and what the expectation is.
Denver, talk about what it's like in the locker room. You guys 7-3 right now. Where do you feel like the mood is amongst the team? And talk about what Coach was just alluding to as well about that progress mindset.
I mean, we all try to stay positive with everything. It's like we're all growing together. And like she said, these last few games have been great learning opportunities for us. And, we might be down on ourselves, but we're quick to get back up and keep each other up as well.
Coach, let's go through those games. A couple of really good teams in the Mountain West, future Pac-12 members in Colorado State and Boise State. Let's start with the first one and what you saw from your team in that game.
Yeah, Colorado State is a great team. I think they're going to have a really, really good season. They've already had a great season so far. I think for us, a matchup that you make a mistake and they capitalize on it. Obviously, shoot the ball well and just all the things. And so we really had to be on point. I feel like we played well for, the first half. I think it was the start of the third quarter where we kind of let up. We got ourselves in a hole. And one of the things that I was proud of is that I don't think this is a team that in any of those games has ever quit. We might get down, they might make a run, but we're always going to try our best to fight back. And sometimes we just run out of time. I thought we did some really good things too.
Would have won the game in 5 quarters. Is what you're
of course,
saying? Yeah, 100%. Denver in that Colorado State game. What Coach is alluding to, what is it about this group that gives you that stick-to-itiveness, that refusal to quit, to give in and say, all right, let's just move on to the next one, but just fight through every single play?
Yeah, we just have a lot of great people, like staff and teammates on our team, and everyone kind of has the same attitude, like, even if we get down, we're going to keep going, and it's not an option to give up. So we're just going to try our best until the game's over, and then no matter the outcome, we're going to keep climbing.
So then you go on to Boise State, Coach, and even more competitive in that game against a Boise State program. I was talking to one of their broadcasters going into that game. They've got pretty high hopes for what that team can be in a really good league in the Mountain West, and that was truly a tight, competitive 4-quarter basketball game.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a very similar situation in the third quarter. Start of the third quarter, we just kind of had a little bit of a lapse. We got down. I think they went on an 8-0 run, and we kind of dug ourselves in a hole. We fought back. I felt like we kept continuing to fight back. Again, we would make a run, and it just wasn't quite enough. Again, another really good team. They shot the ball really well. That was one of the things we were a little bit concerned about, was we knew they were going to shoot the ball really well, and they had played at Utah, didn't have a great game, and then to be back home, we knew they were probably going to be excited for the game and to be at home. And so Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a great learning experience for us, to be honest, and a great team. And, we're obviously don't like to lose, but we've lost to some really solid teams.
Yeah, you guys have played some great games at home as well. Washington State, New Mexico State, a couple of really, really quality wins for your program. The New Mexico State game was such an awesome one to watch there inside the AFIC. But Denver, real quick, I want to go back to what I thought was your best game of the year at Cal Poly earlier this season. That was Coach Mason's 100th career win as a head coach, which is quite the accomplishment, by the way. It's now her 8th season, and she's racked up 100 wins. But in that particular game on the road, you're a long way from home, even further from your original home, which we'll get to later back in Colorado. But what was it about that game that was working for you in a game where Brooklyn went out of the game with foul trouble and you had to step up and play a lot of minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I just knew that I was needed where I was at in that game. And, you kind of just have to put back the nerves and, you just have to know that you're needed right then and there and do what you can and bring what you know you can bring to the table and just do anything you can to help your team win, because in that moment it's not really about me. It's more about my teammates and my team.
Going on the road to get a win like that says a lot. You guys have only lost on the road this year to Idaho and then to Colorado State and Boise State. Coach, for you guys right now being undefeated at home at this point in the year, what does that say about where your basketball team's at?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of their goals when we started the season, is they wanted to be undefeated at home. And, I think they've done a great job of that. I think part of that is, the fans, the people that we have here that support us. And we talk about that. We want people to enjoy coming to our games. We want them to come back. We want them to see how hard we play. And we're playing for the people that come cheer us on. And so that's important. We had a kids game, which was awesome. We had so many people from Iron County here cheering us on, and I think that was a special game for the team as well, to have all those kids out there, and hopefully they enjoyed it, and hopefully they come back. And so really, we're trying to put out a good product there so that we're building our fan base.
Ernie's is more than just a gas stop. It's your one-stop spot for fuel, fresh food, and friendly service. With locations across southern Utah, including one right here in Cedar City, Ernie's makes it easy to fill up and fuel up. Don't forget, Ernie's is home of the world-famous chicken strips, a local favorite that keeps fans coming back. Proudly supporting SUU athletics and proudly serving our community. Stop by Ernie's in Cedar City today.
Denver, when you guys were on the court, could you hear the kids when they were up there? What is it like to play in that sort of environment? And I was watching in the early portion. They were kind of late getting to the game, probably tough to move that many kids in an organized fashion, and they really filled it out about, I think, 2 minutes into the first quarter, and I was almost disappointed for a moment because I was like, man, I've seen these kids' games for years. There's usually hundreds, and they're usually filling up a bunch. Yeah. And then eventually they did. What is it like to play in front of a kids' game like that?
Honestly, I was talking to my teammates after the game, and we're like, wow, we loved it, to be honest. We're like, I wish we could have more of those. Just having that kind of atmosphere, even if it's screeching, is really it's good to have, and it kind of can get you going too. Anything loud can just get you, get your energy up and keep us going and win that game.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed this year, Coach, compared to last year's, I felt like there was a more concerted effort from the kids to cheer at the appropriate moments.
Yes, yeah.
I thought that was a very stark cut. In years past, whether Sierra was at the line or whether New Mexico State was at the line, they would have been going crazy regardless.
Yeah.
Felt like they'd really dialed it in.
Well, we took a group of the girls over to one of the schools, and we explained to them that the team in white was the home team, and that when the other team was shooting, we needed to scream as loud as we could. And they did a great job of that.
That's awesome. Yeah. I want to go to our Pizza Hut Piece of My Mind question here that came from one of our fans in attendance today. This is some deep-level basketball knowledge coming from one of them out there. Coach, have you ever seen a game until one of the last two on the road, I believe it was Boise State, where the opponent's starters did not record a foul in the first half?
No, not that I can remember.
You have now.
Yep. Yeah.
You have now. We'll leave it at that.
Such a great stat.
Yeah. I didn't even have that one. I don't think Parker had that one. I hadn't come up with that before. So credit to Len for coming up with
we
that
talked
question.
about it at halftime in the locker room. I mean,
what is a conversation like that What does it sound like? Or what are you trying to get across to your team in that sort of moment when it feels difficult?
Yeah. I try to not let them focus on the referees because I do a good enough job, I think, of that. And so we try to just, fight the fights that we can fight. And I think the biggest thing for me is, I just like consistency. I think, if we can just maintain the way we're going to call it the whole game, then that's great. And I think that's something that, our players understand too, because then you adapt to how the game is being called. And so you just got to try to stay focused. And, one of the things we talked about that game was being more aggressive and forcing the referees to make a call and get us to the free throw line and that type of thing. So, and I thought we did a much better job in the second half.
How do you feel?
Maybe they talked about it at halftime, and that's why it was better in the second half, but it worked out the way it should have.
How do you feel like your team has been this year getting to the free throw line? Obviously, there's one particular element that I'm not going to touch on, but you feel free to go off on, Coach.
Yeah. Well, I think that is a big piece for us. Rebounding, getting to the free throw line, those two things I think are staples to having a winning season. So it's something that we've talked about a lot, and I think it shows how aggressive we are as well. So we have done a much better job, especially this year, than we have in the last few years of getting to the free throw line. And I think Sierra has led that charge for us. And she is 40. I think she has 40 in a row right now. Best streak in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she is also number 12 in the country for percentage. So I just have a ton of confidence in her, and really, this whole team, I just have a lot of confidence in them. But, when she has the ball, she's going to make something good happen. And that's just a pretty cool trait to have.
Speaking of confidence, I feel like you have plenty in the sophomore sitting to your right. Denver, you played a pretty small role in your true freshman season. Talk about what it's been like coming into this year and having just such a big role for this team.
It's been really cool this year, and I love this team. I think it's a good confidence booster, and just trying to do what I can and know that I can do. And it helps knowing that Tracy and the rest of the coaches and my teammates, they have confidence in me, and they tell me that every day. Like, my teammates, they're always putting out the good energy and helping me to do my best. So it makes it pretty easy.
What's your favorite part about being a part of this particular Thunderbird group?
I think it's just such good vibes, and everyone loves each other, and we're all great friends, and it's really, there's not much negativity ever. And the energy, Tracy talks about it a lot, that we bring to practice and in the preseason, it just makes it fun every day. And being an athlete can be obviously kind of hard sometimes, but having a good support system like that is really nice.
What has your coaching staff and your teammates as well done from your freshman season to now to get you ready to be in the role that you have and all the success you've had so far?
It's just in practice, it's competitive every day. I've been challenged by some of the best players in our conference, and that's just helped me to become better, and I hope I can help them become better too. So we're all just working together.
Coach, a couple more games. Let's take a look at our St. George Shuttle road trip preview with a couple of upcoming matchups in Southern California. Talk to everybody about what you expect in those games.
Yeah, I think we're excited. Obviously, heading into Christmas break, being able to kind of go on a trip together where we get to stay and play 2 games in the same spot is always nice. I think Omaha and LMU, I think they're going to be excited in the same boat as us. Omaha hasn't had a great season so far. But I think for us, it's something that we have to just continue. We have to expect everybody's best game, and we talk about that. We focus on the next game. And then LMU obviously is hosting the tournament, so we play them the second day. So another WCC school, so, a good opponent for us. So I think we just have to stay locked in. We're spending this week kind of with the way the tournament works. We're spending a little bit of time these first 2 days preparing for LMU. Then we're going to kind of put that to the back and then focus on the next game, which is Omaha. Because it's such a quick turnaround after that game. So it'll be good. It's kind of similar to the conference tournament, so playing in a preseason tournament is always a good opportunity for us to learn.
Going into this Omaha matchup, talk about the team a little bit more, because New Mexico State as well was a squad that, you just look at the record and say, boy, they're not having a really good season. Then we saw, of course, how that game went. You guys were down by 10 in the second half, come back and win it pretty comfortably at the end. What sort of challenge does Omaha present to you?
Yeah, they have quite a few players that are injured, and who knows, they may be back for our game. You just don't know in the world of basketball how it's going to work. But I think it's a team that is going to play hard. They're going to be aggressive, all those things that you need to kind of do to be successful. And so I think for us, it's going to be a matter of staying focused on the things, kind of what we talked about today in practice is doing the things we do and doing them well. I think we strayed away from that a little bit in our last game. And obviously the challenge was there, and it was a great team. But I think focusing on really, like, how are we defending, being on the same page, and then executing offensively.
Denver, going into these couple of games, talk about it from the student standpoint, where you've got finals and then you've got a break and there are games and practice. How do you navigate all that as a student athlete?
Well, it's just getting your work done and then prioritizing the days off that we're given. We're given 2 days off during that finals week, and it's important to go and get up shots and work through some things, which we did, but also taking that time, studying, doing well on your exams. And I mean, I think I speak for all of us when I say we're happy to be done for the semester.
A little bit easier to just focus on basketball, not have school to
really
deal
nice.
with as well. Coach, your team off to a 7-3 start. 6-1 was the best start of your tenure here in Cedar City for a group that returns one starter from last year's first 5 on the court. How has it been able to come together so fast?
Oh, I mean, it's like she said, it's competitive every day. I could have told you 2 weeks into practice in the summer that this team was a special group and that you just felt it. I think probably the fans that have been around our team you could just feel it. Like it's a group that just gets after it. They support each other. They push each other. It's like we have all the right pieces right now of intensity, but also support and all those things. They get along great. They can let things go. I think in the world of women's athletics, sometimes I think we tend to hold grudges and like can't let things go. And this team is just, they move on. You know, they can go at each other. Ava and Brooklyn, some days I'm like, do they need a referee? Like, and they'll go at each other, and then when it's over, it's over. And it's like, hey, good job. Thanks for pushing me so hard today. That's special when you have a group that can do that, and that's what these guys do every single day.
A lot of new faces for this team compared to last year's squad that had so many veterans. Talk about how young players like Sierra or Devin, both of them are here today watching the show live. Talk about how players like that and many others have stepped up into big roles this year.
No, for sure. I mean, we are a super young team. You know, Ash is our only senior, and so we have a good group of sophomores that kind of got their feet wet last year, and so it's been really fun to kind of see them just with the opportunities that they're having and the time that they're getting. And I mean, I don't think Sierra got a break last game. Sorry about that, C. But yeah, I mean, they step up. You know, I think, you know, Devin as a freshman, if you watched her in our Cal Poly game, I mean, talk about learning lessons as the game is going on and growing as the game is going on, and then being a huge impact to win us that game, like, huge. And, you know, obviously Brooklyn's a big piece of the puzzle for us this year. And I feel like we did a great job of kind of evaluating what we needed and trying to put the pieces together. And then, honestly, finding the right people. That chemistry is just as important as having great players.
Can you think of a team you've had since you've been here in Cedar City that has had so much youth, so little relative to some of the other squads' veteran presence that has just kind of clicked this way and seems to play so tightly together?
I don't think this is probably the youngest group I've had since we've been here. And, you know, I think we're living in a world now, too, where you see just whole roster changes and portal changes and all that. And I think one of the things that my staff and I'm committed to is, like, we love to recruit freshmen. That's how you build your culture. You know, we have Sierra, who's been around, you know, these guys that have been around, and they're coaching each other up. You know, they're saying the things that we say, so we don't have to say it the whole time. And so I think that's pretty special. You know, we have our 2 transfers, our junior college transfers, and I think we have 2 very, very hungry people that wanted to be Division I and wanted to prove what they could do and make a statement, and they're doing that.
When you see a lot of other schools in the conference and across the country build their rosters in a different way, that maybe have 10, 11, 12 transfers sometimes out of necessity, how do you guys kind of go against the grain in that regard? Because you talked about a lot of the players that are producing that are new this year are just new to playing a lot of minutes.
Right.
They're not necessarily new to being Thunderbirds.
Yeah. You know, I think it's a chemistry thing. And like I said, I think they understand, our upperclassmen understand what the expectation is, how we do things. And so they really, like, kind of run the show and help us out. Whereas it's not, you know, people that were unhappy over here or didn't get to play enough or didn't like their team or whatever it is. And you're trying to fill all these personalities and figure out how to make them mesh. Like, I think it's just been really easy for this group to kind of come together.
Denver, for you coming in as a freshman, seeing action here and there and then taking that big leap, what has that process been like? Because there are a lot of players across the country, literally too many to count, that come in, don't play as a freshman and decide, well, I guess this isn't the place to me. What made it about this this place and this staff that made you commit to the process?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be a process. I mean, coming in as a freshman, I kind of know like what my role is, and I know that I have learning to do and still more growing to do, and I still do now, of course. But I mean, I just love the people here, and everyone's really supportive of me, and I don't feel like I'm unneeded or, I mean, obviously unwanted at all. So, I mean, it just made it pretty easy. I mean, of course, I would stay.
Coach, any final thoughts on the upcoming road trip against Omaha and LMU, and what maybe one or two things you want to see your team continue to improve upon going into those games?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, I'm going to say it over and over, but I think playing at our pace is really important. I think that's been really special of this group this year too. We asked them to go faster, and I think they have gone faster, and it's just a more fun way for us to play. And I think we're getting good stuff out of it. I think defensively we have some things that we definitely need to clean up from the last couple games, and so we'll focus on that. We're a rebounding team. We've established that. I think now you have to understand that there's a target on your back. If you're a great offensive rebounding team, that means teams are preparing for you and they're going to box out harder. And so we did a great job last game on the boards. We need to continue to do that.
Denver was such a deep lineup of bigs for this roster, which has always been a point of emphasis for you and your staff. It seems like coaches to have really good play in the front court. What's it like to go against a Brooklyn and Ava in practice, and then you've got Via coming off the bench, and Ashley's the tallest of all of you? Like, what is it like to be in that room every single day?
Yeah, I mean, they're all really great players. So, I mean, it just gets me prepared to go against other really great players. And, I mean, the competition is just what we've all needed all season and all preseason. And I think we're kind of just all up to the challenge, and we're all competitive and work really hard against each other. And kind of going up against those players too, I'm prepared like for the inside and the outside kind of playing there. So, yeah.
Coach, you guys are in a much different spot as you play your final two non-conference games than you were record-wise a season going into conference play. Felt like last year there was kind of an element of, hey, let's flush it, let's start over, let's start fresh. But this year with where you guys are at, it feels like it's more, no, let's carry it over. Let's keep things going once conference play begins on December 29th against the team down south.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, I think our conference is tough this year. I think we kind of dropped the GCU that was at the top, the Seattle that was at the bottom. And so now it's a mix of, I feel like, a lot of parity and a lot of good teams. And so we have to be prepared. You're going to play some teams twice on the road. And so you just got to be locked in, and, travel is not easy in the WAC. So we try to do our best with that piece of it, but you have to show up to play every single day. And so I think I've always believed, this is a team, I think, right now that expects to win every game. It doesn't matter if we're playing Boise. It doesn't matter if we're playing Colorado State. Like, their mentality is we're going to compete, and we're going to do whatever we can do to try to win this game. And I don't see that changing with this group. I think they're just extremely competitive.
When you get into conference play, it's going to be very different. For those who don't know, 7 teams in the conference. There's still an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. That doesn't change, but you'll play everybody 3 times to get to an 18-game conference slate. Have you ever gone through anything like that before in your career as a coach?
No, it's crazy. It's going to be interesting. I think I like our schedule. I like the teams that we get to play at home twice. I think, there's obviously, I'm sure everybody has something, every team has something that they would complain about with the schedule, but I like our schedule. It's going to be interesting, though. Playing each other twice, it gets chippy enough. And now let's go play a third time. Let's see how that goes. And then let's go to the tournament and let's play a 4th time. Hopefully we have some great referees this season.
Yeah. I think it's crazy to think about that whoever you play in your first game down, because everybody goes down to WAC Vegas. There's no cutoff. Whoever you play in your first game will be the 4th time that you've seen them. And I don't know that that's really happened before in a regular college basketball season. It's just not the way the schedule really makes it work out. But, with regards to these final 2 road games, how can they get you ready for conference play?
Yeah, I think just, again, another opportunity to prepare and do the things that we do and do them well and continue to grow and that type of thing. And then I think playing back-to-back is a good opportunity for us to see, okay, how do we adjust quickly? How do we prepare for the next game quickly? We're playing at, I think, 1 and 3 or something like that. So, it's almost 24 hours. So we have to be ready for the next game. So I think that'll be a good kind of intro into what the conference tournament looks like. But, we just got to continue to work hard and just continue to evaluate and, watch film and work on the things that we can be better at. And This is a very coachable group, which is awesome. They want to get better. They're always in the gym. They're always asking for feedback. They don't hang their heads when they get critiqued or anything like that. So we're in a good spot.
When it comes to smiles, Thunderbird fans know who to trust: Webster Orthodontics, the preferred orthodontist of SUU Athletics. They're the reason Thor the Thunderbird has that beautiful game day grin, and they can do the same for you. Whether it's braces or Invisalign, Webster Ortho provides personalized care and outstanding results, proudly supporting SUU Athletics and our community. Visit webstersmiles.com today to schedule your consultation. Webster Orthodontics. Show off that Thunderbird smile.
Denver, you ready for a smattering of questions coming your way?
Let's go.
Which may or may not be a word that I just made up live here on the show, because it's time for our Visit Cedar City Brian Head Student Spotlight. So start with your name, hometown, and your journey to SU, and then we'll go from there. And your major.
Okay, I'm Denver Anderson. I'm from Mount Zion, Illinois. I'm a sophomore. And I came to SUU because of the great coaches and the amazing place that it's in.
What was it like to go all the way from Illinois to Utah, and what are the differences between those two places?
Oh, it's very different. It was really exciting for me. I like it here a lot, and I'm from a pretty small town, so I'm used to the small town. My town's actually quite a bit smaller than Cedar City, so I miss my family a lot. That's where they all are, but I've made great connections out here, and I love everyone out here, so it's been really nice, and I think it's given me the opportunity to grow a lot as a person as well, like kind of being out here as far away as I am. So.
What are you studying in school? You might have mentioned that earlier, and I just missed it.
I
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't asleep at the wheel. What are you studying, and what do you want to do after school?
I'm in management right now, and I think I actually kind of want to get into marketing a little bit more. Not really sure. I like the business route. I just kind of want to see what life will give me when I'm done, and hopefully some good opportunities. But yeah, I'm not fully sure on that one yet.
Go back to your high school days and winding up in Cedar City, Utah. Did you ever imagine you'd be in a place like this that was so far from home? And what was that whole process like, from when the coaching staff first contacted you to the recruitment process? Go back and take us through all that.
Well, I knew that I kind of wanted to leave Illinois for a while in high school. I had a lot of attention more in the Midwest. And then whenever my AAU coach had mentioned Southern Utah, I was like, yeah, we're doing a couple of visits out here in the West, and we came by, and I'm like, wow, it's like, I love it here. And like, Tracy was great, of course, and the coaches were great, and I don't know, just I had the feeling that it felt right, so it was really cool.
Even Jay was great?
Sometimes.
What is it about the staff that you like? And obviously there's been a little bit of turnover in Advent coming back from after being out west for a little bit. What is it about the staff that you really enjoy?
they're all really supportive, and they're all like in their own ways, like people that I can rely on. And I could go to one for something and someone else for something else, and they all kind of have their own, obviously their own personalities, and like they're just great. They're great people. Advit's a great post coach, and yeah.
I imagine he's got plenty of intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
I imagine he doesn't lack for that. But when you're not playing basketball, but here in Cedar City, what are your favorite things to do? What are some of your favorite places to go?
I'm with my teammates like all the time. Like they're my best friends. And I do like to hike. I do that more like when my dad's out here specifically. During the off season, I'm a really big fan of skiing. So I went a couple times after the season was over.
Where'd you go?
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Brian Head.
Brian Head.
Yeah.
And how is it up there?
It was really nice. Yeah, it was pretty warm, but yeah, it's pretty fun, and going with my teammates, and I just hang out with them a lot.
What are some of your favorite places to eat in town, other than Cafe Sabor, obviously?
Cafe Sabor. I really like, let me think. I like Amber K's. We go there a lot. Chili's. we go there a lot too.
It's a vibes pick right there.
Yeah, All American. There's a lot of places I could name.
Yeah. What's
Like
been your
10.
favorite part about being at Southern Utah, aside from the basketball?
Just getting to meet so many new people, and
Like these fine folks, perhaps?
yes,
Yes.
all of you.
Of course.
have been like really welcoming to my whole team, and it's nice to have that. Like, especially coming from so far away, it's really nice to have people welcome us into their homes like that. And I mean, we all really appreciate it. I especially do.
We like to end the show with some shout-outs. Coach, you can start us off. Anybody that you want to shout out to wrap today's Coaches Show for maybe their support of SU or you, or for any other reason, frankly?
I'm going to shout out Marie. She's over there.
Yeah, Marie.
She is our sport administrator, and she's always there. I think it's pretty cool to have somebody that is just so supportive of your team. And, I think the girls get excited when she walks in the gym, and we're just lucky to have her here. And she's kind of weathered the storm with me the last couple years, and so we're enjoying this.
Yeah, awesome. Any other shout-outs, Coach, or is Denver going to take us home?
Denver's going to take us home.
All right. Any and all shout-outs, Denver. The floor is yours.
I'll shout out my parents for getting me here, my siblings, especially my brother, who's going to do some big things soon, my teammates, and especially Emily. She had a long day today, but I'm really proud of everyone and really happy to be around great people.
How many siblings do you have?
6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you remember all their names?
Sometimes.
Okay, good. What is it like growing up with 6 siblings?
Well, I only lived in the house with 4 of them for the most part, but I mean, I've really enjoyed it, and it's just more love to go around.
Oh, that's awesome. And are you able to say that what you tease that your brother's about to do something big?
Oh yeah, I will.
If you're not able to say it, it's okay.
it.
I don't want to put you on the spot. I poke and pry by nature.
No, I will say it for him because I'm really proud of him. He's about to graduate soon from high school early, and he's going to play football at LSU.
Whoa. What position does he play?
Tight end.
That's awesome.
He's a monster.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him.
How tall? He's got to be at least 6'5", 250, yeah?
6'7",
Yeah.
240.
That's pretty good. So he's going to go play for Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
I have a few thoughts on that, man, but we'll save those for another day. Denver Anderson and Coach Mason, give them a hand, everybody, for today's Coaches Show. Thank you all for being here. I'm Spencer McLaughlin. We'll see you next time. Until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.